Alrighty guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. So in my past YouTube videos I got a bunch of questions about Firebase and like what actually is Firebase and like how are we actually using it, because I know I messed up, I didn't explain it that well. So Firebase, like it says here, is you can build real-time apps. So this is really neat, and the main thing that Firebase can offer is three-way data binding. AngularJS itself already has two-way data binding. Two-way data binding is allowing content to be entered into the page, and then the content on the page being able to be refreshed without the page actually having to reload. So here's an example. I just built this up. It's like barely any lines. I mean, these lines right here are not even needed. These are just for Firebase and Angular Fire. And here we can just say like, hey, and then we can put in like Bob or Joe, or maybe in our case YouTube, and then bam, just like that it can add to YouTube. I don't want to make this like a basic AngularJS tutorial because I'm sure many of you guys who are watching this video already kind of know a bit about AngularJS, but simple as this, we have an ng model which is text, and then it just adds hey to the text, and then with that, so if we change this to like, or if we change it to like name, obviously it wouldn't work. But if we change this to name, then obviously it will work. So that's basically about it for two-way data binding. Two-way data binding isn't that complicated. But then when you bring Firebase into all of this and make it three-way data binding, that's when it gets a bit more complicated. Alrighty guys, so now we can jump right into the login, and if we go to the login, it'll take us to our dashboard if we have already logged in. If we haven't already logged in, then it'll just take us to a new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new app. I'm just going to make this YouTube tutorial, and I'm guessing, and the app URLs can also be tutorial. Just create that new app, and then next thing you know, it's right there, perfect. So what we can do is we can click Manage App, and when we go into Manage App, we have a bunch of options. So in the Manage App, the main thing that we're going to be focusing on is the data. I'm not totally sure why this is taking so long to load. Alright guys, so I have no clue why that took ridiculous time to load everything. But now that we're in the Firebase, like I said, there's the data on the side, which is the main thing that we'll focus on. So in here we can click a plus to create a new piece of data. So let's say you want to store like a first name. So the first name would be like John, for example. So first name John, then maybe you also wanted to store a last name. And so the last name would be like Larry. I don't know, these are just like generic dumb names. So with that, then now it's stored on the Firebase. So now if we basically added a .json to the end of this, then, oops, gotta do a /.json, then it would basically print this all out in JSON format, which we can see here.